What's up, everyone? Hello, everyone. I'm Sign1News anchor Christopher D. Johnson. Here's a quick look at the top trending stories making headlines today. If you post an interesting comment about this update, we may add it at the bottom of the screen. Today is day 3 of the World Federation of the Deaf's International Week of Deaf People. For over 70 years, the event is celebrated during the last full week of September to unite deaf communities and deaf cultures, celebrate sign languages all over the world, remind local, national, and international governments of deaf people's rights, and open up dialogue so deaf citizens are not excluded from government, social affairs, and schools. This year's overall theme is Building Inclusive Communities for All. Thursday's sub-theme is Safeguarding Deaf People in Times of Crisis. Here is the official video from WFD's website explaining today's topic. To learn more about WFD and International Week of Deaf People, head to this website, wfdef.org. For weeks, dozens of NBA and WNBA players have been calling for the resignation or banishment for life of Robert Sarver. Sarver is the owner of the Phoenix Suns and Phoenix Mercury basketball teams. The NBA suspended and fined him $10 million after a 43-page report revealed Sarver repeatedly used the N-word, described sex acts with his wife in front of employees, and on at least one incident exposed his genitals to a male employee who was on his knees. Sarver apologized but disagreed with some of the specifics of the allegations. But then, in a surprise move, Sarver announced he is beginning the process of selling the Suns and the Mercury. League officials say this is the right next step for the NBA and the Phoenix community. The NBA preseason begins on September 30th. Leonard Francis is finally in custody. He is the mastermind behind the largest corruption scandal in U.S. Navy history. He was given the nickname Fat Leonard because he used to weigh 400 pounds at one point. In 2015, he pleaded guilty to a $35 million scheme where he bribed several Navy officials with cash, prostitutes, and all expenses paid trips in exchange for steering ships to seaports where Francis Contracting Company operated. But he escaped house arrest 2 weeks ago by cutting off his GPS monitoring ankle bracelet. He escaped just before prison sentencing. He was captured in Venezuela trying to board another flight to another country. U.S. government officials have begun proceeding to bring him back to the United States. Former President Donald Trump is back on the legal hot seat. A federal appeals court says the Justice Department can resume its criminal investigation of classified documents seized from Trump's Florida home. The judges didn't buy the argument that Trump had somehow declassified the documents. In addition to that investigation, the New York Attorney General announced a huge lawsuit against Trump, his company, and his 3 oldest children, Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, and Ivanka Trump. According to the suit, the Trump Organization deceived lenders, insurers, and tax authorities by inflating the value of properties. New York's Attorney General alleges Trump lied over 200 times over the course of 10 years about the values of his assets. The state is seeking $250 million and to permanently bar Trump and his children from serving as the director of a business registered in New York State. It also aims to cancel the Trump Organization's corporate certificate, which, if granted by a judge, could force the company to stop operating in New York. New video has emerged in the case of a Dallas anesthesiologist who allegedly injected nerve-blocking agents and other drugs into patient IV bags on purpose. It resulted in the death of a co-worker and multiple cardiac emergencies at a local surgery center. This video is from the hallway of the surgery center. The red circle around 59-year-old Ronaldo Rivera Ortiz Jr. allegedly shows him placing an IV bag in a stainless steel bag warmer. He looks around to see if anyone notices, then walks away quickly. Shortly after, a woman suffered a cardiac emergency after using a bag from that same warmer. And according to the investigation, one of the Ortiz's co-workers also used one of the IV bags to help treat her dehydration and died soon after. Her autopsy showed she died from a lethal dose of a nerve-blocking agent often used in anesthesia. Prosecutors say all the instances began 2 days after Ortiz faced disciplinary charges, and always when he was on duty, never when he was on vacation. If convicted, Ortiz faces life in prison. Every 2 seconds, someone in the world under 70 years old dies of a non-communicable disease, such as heart and lung disease, stroke, cancer, and diabetes. That's the equivalent of 17 million premature deaths a year. And the head of the World Health Organization, WHO, is calling on nations to reduce deaths like this. The WHO says nearly 75% of deaths in the world are from a non-communicable disease. The agency released a new report outlining policies to prevent or delay deaths from such diseases. And it launched a data portal to coordinate action by country and track risk factors and progress. The Canadian metal band Razer has released a new album for the first time in 25 years. And metal fans are inspired by the lead guitarist's personal story. Dave Carlo is partially blind and says he can't even see his hands when he plays. But he has tape on the guitar that lights up in the dark and allows him to see using his peripheral vision. Carlo also fought a battle with tongue cancer in 2012, cares for his son, who has autism, and his daughter, who has borderline personality disorder, None of which stops him from playing music. He says he doesn't need to be known for the tragedies around his life. He wants to be an example of perseverance and show people how to find ways to push through tough times. Sign1News will be broadcasting updates Monday through Friday. And a reminder, the Sign1News Saturday virtual show team is taking a break for the summer. And we will see you again in the fall. A big thank you to our Sign1News app supporters. You help make this broadcast happen. You can download the Sign1News app by heading to the App Store or Google Play Store on your smartphone. You can also watch on Apple TV, Amazon, and Roku. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Take care.